In a world full of podcasts, you have choices. Make yours count. Don't miss out. Tech Pop Boom. Happy holidays and ho, 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 everybody. Welcome to Tech Pop Boom with your hosts, Scott and Brandon. I'm Scott.
And I'm Brandon.
Welcome to the show. This is currently, we are in December. It's the first week of December. So the holiday festivities have just kind of started here. Today's episode, we are going to talk about a couple of shows that Brandon and I have been watching and kind of we'll give our 2 cents about what we thought about them. We are going to talk about our upcoming, this is going to be the last episode of what we're going to call this current season. We're going to take a few weeks off. We're going to kind of go back and look at some things, fix some things, talk about how to do upcoming things, and we'll talk about that as the episode progresses. We're going to talk about some technology things that are on our minds. And you know what? Every episode we have bullet points that we want to talk about, but it's really just a conversation between Brandon and I. We have things we want to talk about, but as the show progresses, sometimes we'll totally, just go off the cuff and just kind of say whatever it is what we want to say. So that's the podcast in a nutshell. But this is actually, Brandon, this is, if I'm not mistaken, our 20th episode. Is that correct?
This is our 20th one, yes.
Yeah, this is our 20th episode. And this is, explain this to me. So we're going to finish up. We're going to take a few weeks off. We're going to come back in January.
Yes, like January, like maybe the second week. Well, let's see, like the last week in January, I was thinking.
No, that works for me.
Maybe like the only thing is well, how are you going to do your Star Wars? Because you go it's your Star Wars movie review.
Oh, well, I think people, as much as I would love to do that, and we can do that when we come back, the world is going to be bombarded and absolutely bombarded with Star Wars everything. I don't think the world's going to miss out by me not doing a Star Wars review the day after I see it. Although that being said, I am seeing it on opening day. And I told the wife, and it's funny, I took 2 hours off of work, so I I could get out of there early. I'm getting out at 4 o'clock as opposed to 6:30. I get out at 6 o'clock normally, which is a story within itself, but it doesn't need to be told during the show. But, so I'm getting out work 2 hours early. The movie starts at 8 at home, put on my Princess Leia wig and my Chewbacca. I'm being stupid.
That's okay.
The movie starts at 8 o'clock, and I cannot wait to see it.
You cannot.
But I can't wait. But yeah, we can talk about that when we come back in January, I guess.
Yeah, or I can put it at the end of this one. I don't know if I take it down, put what I did in the last one. I don't. This show is being recorded. What's today, the 5th? December 5th? Yeah. And when does the movie come out?
The movie comes out December 18th. So that's about another 2 weeks from now. So, I mean, we could, I guess we could find a time. We could just do like a 10 minutes, little thing. But it's going to be kind of weird to do a 20 episodes
and then go back and put it in there. That's true.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
So, the world will have to wait to think to hear what I have to say about Star Wars.
Hey, maybe I will go see it by that time, and then I will let you know. Just because
listen, you always talk about sci-fi, and you talk about the Sci-Fi Channel, and when you first got Netflix, which is amazing to me, you waited until we started this podcast to get Netflix, but that's your axe to grind. As much as you love sci-fi, just that, and the world is going Star Wars nuts right now. Just that you have no interest in Star Wars is weird. Even for me, I'm not a Star Trek guy, but when J.J. Abrams, the same guy who was doing the Star Trek movie, when I saw previews for Star Trek, I was really excited. I thought, man, that looks really good. And you don't get anything from the new Star Wars trailers at all?
No, it doesn't faze me. I'm just like, okay. I don't know what to say. You know what? Maybe because I'm not a Star Wars. I'm really not a Star Wars fan.
I wasn't a Star Trek fan, and when that movie came out, I was looking forward to seeing it. And when I saw it, I loved it. And it's the same. I think it's the same thing. I could care less about any of the Star Trek TV shows. I saw a few of them, but maybe
maybe the trailer didn't do it for me.
let me just say, how dare you, sir?
Yeah,
how dare you? How could you watch that Star Wars trailer and not get into it? There's something wrong with you, sir. If that's how you feel, you're wrong.
Maybe you know what I need to do. This is what I probably should do while we're off.
Get your eyesight checked.
No, that too actually, but because I do need glasses. I'm starting to find that out now. I need to watch all the Star Trek, all the Star Wars movies. Maybe I have them all, and I just go back and maybe watch them. Maybe I'll get excited about it then.
You can. I wouldn't watch all 6 of them, Brandon. If I were you, I'd just watch Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
And Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I would not go back and watch the first 3. The episodes 1 through 3 aren't worth watching, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll like it. I don't know. I just I'm not into it. I just it's like I'll get to it when I get to it. It's like I could actually wait for it to come on Netflix. And
if you don't see it, I'm going to be seeing it on the 18th, and I can't wait. I'm very excited.
A lot of people are. I mean, I see on my Facebook feed just blow up with Star Wars stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Yep, you got that right.
Yeah. So.
Brandon, anything going on with you since the last time I talked to you? What have you been up to?
Well, not much at all, actually. Starting Walking Dead.
You started Walking Dead. Now,
yes.
How far have you gotten into the show?
I'm on season 2, episode 8.
Really?
Yes.
So, and that's when that's like prime. I mean, the show is still good. I really like it, but that's like really good. I mean, you're starting off. Yeah, seasons 1 and 2 I thought were epic. What are you thinking so far? Are you liking it? Not liking it?
You know what? I'm not going as fast as I was with Breaking Bad because I don't wanna like try to watch it all at one time. I want to enjoy it.
You want to? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's okay. Maybe I'm not a zombie person either. It's okay. I'm watching it just to watch it because it does have my interest peaked. But other than that,
you're not loving it.
I'm not loving it. Where I'm gonna go buy a whole bunch of Walking Dead shirts and stuff, and merchandise and stuff. Not that kind of love, but the love of where this is a pretty good show. I love here's what I like about the editing is when you know how they play something at the very beginning, right? Okay. Yeah. And so they play whatever's happening, and then you can kind of hear the music cut into it, and then they play the introduction. I mean, this is the editing move. Okay, when I was seeing them do that, I think I was like, that's when I went, oh my god, this is great. This is a good editing move right here. Because every time they go, the music kind of starts, and then they go into the where they do the names and the credits, and then they go out of it. I mean, if I was editing a show, that's how I would do a show. I would start at the very beginning, put the music, let it go into the, and then play the, they don't transition. It's like goes right into it. I love that. That was the one thing I took from it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but I thought that was pretty cool. But
I think it's a good show, especially the first 2 seasons, especially the end of the season you're watching right. I think it's the end of the season at season 2.
Yeah, it's they're on the farm, cool right? They're on the farm on this one.
Okay, I think it's at the end of season 2. Okay. Something really cool happens.
Okay.
So yeah, I really like The Walking Dead. I've watched it since the very beginning, and I like it a lot. I think it's well done.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, this is not spoiling it. Do they ever tell them how the disease started? Because I mean, they go into how he was in the hospital.
No.
Oh, okay.
It never gets explained. But that being said, they find out more have they gotten to where they realize that everyone is affected by this virus?
Yeah. I think they already did
so everyone
that
on the show, they realize that once they die, there's a virus or whatever the hell it is, that once they die, they automatically turn into zombies. They do know that, but as far as why it happened or how it happened, it wasn't explained on The Walking Dead. There's another show that started this past summer. It's just, in my opinion, I thought it was a really stupid title for the show. The show is called Fear of The The Walking Dead. Have you heard about that one?
Yeah, I heard about that. What? Yeah, what is that?
Fear of the Walking Dead. Well, The Walking Dead takes place in Georgia.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the premise of The Walking Dead. You're currently watching it. I don't need to explain it.
Yeah, it's in Georgia. Yeah.
Right. And basically, The Walking Dead, it started where the main character gets hurt and goes in the hospital. He wakes up. After he gets hurt, he's probably in the hospital for a long, extended period of time. So when he wakes up, the world is in hell. The apocalypse has happened, and there's zombies everywhere, right?
Right.
So nothing gets explained. In Fear of the Walking Dead, instead of taking place in Georgia, it takes place in California.
Oh.
And it starts as it's happening. So the characters are living their lives, and they're getting news reports and radio reports, and people are starting to, hey, I heard this, and this is happening, and so it's a slow process. It's a slow build. So to me, it wasn't as exciting as The Walking Dead. But by the end of the season, and especially by the last episode of that season, it started to get good. Now, I would imagine next season it would probably be really good. But it was interesting, but I think The Walking Dead is better in my opinion.
Okay. Let me ask you another. Okay, so maybe I should watch that first.
No, you don't need to. I mean, okay. You can continue where you're at. I mean, if you're looking for explanations, you're probably not going to get any as far as why it's happening or how it's happening. But did you get to the part where, I don't know if it was the first season or the second season, where they're headed somewhere where they think they're looking for some kind of an answer?
And they go to the CDF, what is that? The disease control, and the guy... where they go to the place where they think they're safe. Where is it? That's in Georgia. That's in Atlanta too.
That doctor, the scientist.
Yeah, the Atlanta. Yeah, okay. And they explain
that's about as much of an answer as you're going to get. Now it's at the point now where they're just trying to survive.
Okay. Wow.
They're trying to survive. You're not going to get any answers as far as why it's happening. It doesn't matter why it's happening. You just need to survive. You need to get food. You need to. Yeah. People are. It's like war. People are just trying to find shelter. They don't want to die. So that's the show. And then just when they think they're safe, they're not safe, and don't get too comfortable with any main character. I guess it's a good thing and kind of a bad thing because it makes the show more interesting. And when they kill off someone you're not expecting to die. But at the same time, sometimes they get rid of characters that you really like and you really fell in love with, and then, they're gone.
I like shows like that.
My thing is, I do too. But I'm just saying, don't get too comfortable with any characters because they may or may not last very long.
So they're not going to do the Star Trek theory, right? Because anytime someone on Star Trek went on the planet, you knew they were going to die. Kurt and Spock had never died.
Well, yeah. I think that a lot of characters from season 2, I couldn't remember which characters are in season 2 at this point, but I would say the majority of characters, I believe, the majority of characters from season 2, I don't know, they may or may not make it.
Okay. So, I'm excited to watch that.
You're not excited to watch it?
I'm excited. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, I think The Walking Dead, I think, is very well done. I think it's a good show, and I enjoy it. So, Walking Dead, a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Besides The Walking, I like it. I think I would imagine you probably continue to like it. And I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad you're taking your time. Because I have a bad habit of, in the past, power watching shows, but there's 2 shows that you and I have watched since the last time we spoke of, and I'm going to start off with the first one I watched. Let's talk about Man in the High Castle. Okay. You and I have been talking about that.
Yes.
We've been talking about that show for a year because we mentioned it as soon as they started the pilot.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that pilot, and obviously we were excited because we didn't shut up about it for the entire year.
Yeah.
And then maybe a month or so ago, they released a second episode, and I was excited. Hey, this is great! It's continuing. Now you said you power watched it. I didn't power watch it. I really took my time with this show because I really wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to get into it. And I wanted it to sink in. And maybe if I power watched it, maybe I would have liked it more, because I got to be honest with you, Brandon. By the time the show ended, I was confused, scratching my head, thinking, "What the hell is going on?" A lot of part, and I hate to say this, because I wanted to like it more than I did, but the very last episode really, really threw me for a loop. The final scene of the final episode, I'm like, what's going on? I have no idea. What did I miss here? There's a lot of times where they bring in so many characters and there's so many stories, and it's hard to follow one to the next. And I gotta say, I really wish they would have done a better job of the show of holding my attention. But I don't know. I mean, I talked to everyone about the show now that it's done.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody. What is your 2 cents?
Same thing. At the very end, I'm not going to give away the ending, but that last episode confused me. Maybe it needs more episodes for it to for everyone to understand.
I don't know but if you can't do it in 10, was it 10 episodes?
It was
10.
If
you can't do it in 10 episodes,
they should have had 12.
Don't waste any more of my time.
Okay.
Because they couldn't get it. Listen, it wasn't that bad. I'm making it sound worse than it was, because there were parts of those I really liked. And of course I don't have the characters' names in front of me. But the one guy who worked, he was one of the German soldiers, and he had his family. And then at some point, he found out there was an issue with his son.
Yeah, I like that.
I won't get into. Yeah, I do too. And I thought that was interesting. But the main story with the main girl whose sister died, that's not giving anything away because it happens in the first episode. That kind of, for me, got stale and confusing. And then they brought in the Japanese people, and that really confused me. And I don't know. Tell me what you think about it, because I gotta say, I was kind of disappointed in that. I really was.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think I'm with you, because I just thought this would be an awesome show. I was power watching the hell out of this, because I was like, man, this is good. I've been waiting a year.
You were pissing me off.
Yeah.
Every time I watch that show, I'm thinking, I'm going to be ahead of Brandon. Oh yeah, I'm like 2 episodes from the end. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm on episode 4. You know?
But I'm on episode 6. I was always 2 ahead. I was power watching the hell. I lost a couple of sleep. I lost a lot of sleep on that. But you're right. It's just. It was something missing. That's what it was. It was something missing.
Yeah, sometimes I like for shows just to be black and white. Just give me the answers. I don't want to have to think. I don't want to have to sit down and do homework. I just want it to be. I don't know what it has to be good. And there are parts of it that were good.
Yeah, there were.
But the series as a whole, it should have been better.
Yeah, should have been better for the hype that everyone is. Yeah, you're right. But now the other show that we talked about.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, now I went in thinking that this show was going to be bad, so I waited to the end of High Castle before watching this.
Right. Well, that same thing with me. Man in the High Castle. I wanted to watch that one first, because we've been talking about it for a year. At the same time, Man in the High Castle came out, the same day that one came out, Jessica Jones on Netflix came out.
Yes.
So I really wanted to watch Jessica Jones, because I kept hearing, reading things about it on the internet. And I had mentioned it to you, and I don't know if when I mentioned it to you, because you knew nothing about it.
No, I knew nothing.
So I told you, hey, check out the show, and I think you thought, well,
whatever.
I'll get to when I get to it. Right.
Whatever. I was like that.
So you flew through Man in the High Castle quicker than your pants could hit the floor.
Yes, I did.
And you jumped into Jessica Jones.
Now I'll tell you. Let me tell you a little story why I jumped on it. Because I flew through Man Through the High Castle, I was gonna go and watch Walking Dead. That was going to be my next one. I said, you know what? I'll just wait until Jessica Jones later. But then I sat there for a second and I start reading on the internet on how good this is. Because you remember, we're watching Man in the High Castle. Other people were watching. It was somehow, and on my Facebook feed, somebody said, "Oh my God, this is an awesome show! Oh my God, I can't believe it!" So I'm sitting here going, "Okay, maybe I'll hit this show, man. Whatever." But oh my God.
Jessica Jones, in my opinion, is probably one of the best shows of this year. I didn't. I mean, maybe it's just me.
That's an understatement, dude.
I thought it was so well done. It was so good. So good, in fact. Now, for anyone, let's give a little backstory about Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
If anyone, for anyone that doesn't know Jessica Jones is a show on Netflix. It's based on a comic book that Marvel had released in the early 2000s. It's about, I don't know, 2001, 2002, or around the early 2000s. The name of the comic book was called Alias. Jessica Jones. It differs, but the premise is pretty much the same. Where the main character is she's a detective. Is that right, Brandon?
Yes, she's a detective.
She's a detective, and then she has special abilities. And as the show progresses, she meets other characters that also possess these special abilities. And then she eventually there's a nemesis. She has this nemesis. And who's the actor who plays the bad guy?
David Tennant, Doctor Who. Yes.
And he was in. I never watched Doctor Who, but that's the guy you said you liked from Doctor Who, right? That was your favorite Doctor in Doctor Who?
Yes, that's my favorite one. Matt Smith did okay, but he's my favorite out of all.
I don't watch Doctor Who, but I remember you said there's one guy that you liked, and I thought this was him.
Yeah.
At any rate, Jessica Jones, I liked it so much. And when I finished it, I went and I downloaded all 28 issues of the comic book just so I could read it again. I was like so upset that I watched it, and I took my time watching it, but I was like, I wish I could have just really taken my time even longer because I didn't want it to be done. I wanted to continue the story. I wanted to move forward. I wanted to watch more. I wanted to soak up more Jessica Jones, which is why I'm still currently reading the comics. And Jessica Jones is so damn effing good. Oh my god, it's so good.
Believe it. I mean, okay, so Scott and I are texting during this. So Scott says, "So what happened?" I was 5 ahead of him. Okay, so I wrote, okay, to him saying, "Okay, what show? What did you write? You said what episode?"
I was early on. Yeah, I was early on at that point. I think I was on episode.
You were on 1. You hadn't started yet. I think you were on.
No, I think I was on maybe 3 or 4, but it was pretty. And you were like just finishing. 10. You were in the middle of watching 10.
I was on 10. I was 9. I was going to go 10. No, it was on 10. That's right. I was on 10. And boy, what did I say? I think I put it in words. I said, what did I say? I said, oh my God, I can't believe it. I wish I could read it. I don't have my phone with me.
You said pretty much. If you're not sold on the show yet, by episode 10 you will be. You'll be so and you don't have to wait till episode 10. It's so good. I mean, there's so many great characters. There's a lawyer and the lady who played the
Carrie Ann Moss. She's Trinity in The Matrix. Okay,
yeah, her character I thought was amazing.
Oh yeah,
her story and what happens to her by the end of the season is like crazy. And then her counterpart in the show. I don't want to give that away.
Yeah, I don't want to give away either.
But the guy, he was amazing. The Nemesis, who
David Kilgrave,
that was probably one of the best bad guy things. Just his ability.
That's what I wrote.
And don't give it away because what he does in the show, his ability on the show is absolutely amazing. The very first episode, and it's like everything that happened in the first episode is because of him. With the blonde girl, and she's in the elevator, and she does what she does in the elevator, and it's all because of this guy, and
you don't know why.
Just go on. No,
you don't know why until you get to it later.
Eventually, yeah, because I got a guy at work where he's starting to watch it now. Because this is all I've been talking about all week.
Right, work, huh?
This is all I've been talking about. To anyone who listens, if you got to watch Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
you got to watch Jessica Jones. I've been texting and telling and posting. I could talk about, but I don't want to give anything away because it's so good.
I don't want to give it away either. All I want to say is
so good.
Is my expectations for this wasn't. I thought Man in the High Castle was going to be like this.
I agree.
But my expectation was low for this. So when I got to first, I didn't know David Tennant was in it.
You didn't have any expectations.
No, I had none.
you knew nothing about this, and you're not really a superhero kind of guy.
Yeah.
So this isn't even a superhero show. This is just a show about a detective who pretty much has special abilities.
It explained, but see, here's what I love about this story. It explained everything. In that 13 episodes, there was no loose ends by the end.
No,
you knew exactly how she got her powers. Yeah. You kind of know. You know how she. It's just like, oh my God, Kilgrave. You understand about him. I mean, but David Tennant was off the hook. That's all I gotta say.
Amazing!
Oh, when I wrote that to you, and I said, I really believe it.
I really hope that they bring him back for future episodes.
Please, David Tennant, come back.
It was just too good. One of the differences between the book and the show is in the book, she was a superhero first. She was a part of the Avengers.
Huh.
In the show, she was never a superhero. As a matter of fact, there's a scene in the show where her and the character plays her sister. They're in her apartment and they're talking about, because she has Jessica Jones has special abilities. Yeah. So her sister's telling her, well, you should be a superhero and you should wear a costume.
Yeah.
And her sister holds up a costume.
I remember that part.
And the costume her sister holds up is a costume she wore in the comic book.
Huh.
And Jessica Jones had made a funny comment like, "Oh, if I wore that costume, you'd have to call me Camel Toe."
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right. But and in the comic book, her superhero name was Jewel because that costume had like a big purple jewel on it.
Yeah.
And she was part of the Avengers, and she fought with. Anyways, if you want to read more, read the comic book. And then eventually in the book, she stops being a superhero, and then she thinks that she isn't good at it. She's not cut out for it. So then she just goes to Hell's Kitchen and starts this detective alias agency or whatever it's called.
I got a quick question for you. What did you think of Krysten Ritter? Because I know you weren't too hot for her.
I thought when the show, I guess I'm kind of all over the place. I thought they could have picked someone, and when I first started watching, I thought they maybe could have picked someone better, maybe someone more athletic, something different, like someone more like Scarlett Johansson, how she was in the Avengers. She's just Krysten Ritter. She's very attractive, but I just wasn't convinced that she was the right person for the role. And now that the show is done, I love it so much. I don't even care anymore. I just want them to create more episodes. I don't even care. I just want more episodes.
Yeah.
And let's get it done. It's so good. Take your time, do it right. I want it to be good. But at first I wasn't convinced. But I guess I have to say I love her because I just absolutely love the show. I think she
made that show though. If you had that personality of her, kind of made because the hatred towards Kilgrave,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because, I know by episode 3 you were like, oh, yeah, okay, she's kind of bad. Okay. I understand that. But past episode 3, I was like, oh my God, they picked the right girl for this part. Especially David Tennant. Again, I'm going to say it one more time.
It's worth repeating because he was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
the evil bad guy in Jessica Jones, his name was Kilgrave, and the actor who plays him, he's just amazing.
But see, you haven't watched Doctor Who, so when I saw him, I was excited. I was like, oh, okay, And then when I saw Carrie-Anne Moss, who plays the lawyer, I was like, okay, these are people I know now, like, in Matrix and stuff. But I'm still in shock from that because you're right. I didn't have any expectations when I turned it on.
No, because I'm the one that told you about it.
Yeah, you're the one who told me.
You knew nothing about it.
I knew nothing, not a single thing. I knew nothing.
This is a show I'm going to have to go. And I always say I'm going to have to go back and watch this one again. But this one I'm going to have to go back and watch it again because I just miss it. I want to see it. I want to watch it again. I want to take it in.
I do want to watch it again too.
Yeah.
It's that good to where after I get done with Walking Dead, I think I'm going to go back and rewatch it just to see if I missed anything. So, you have to see this, everyone. Jessica Jones, yes. Mannequin Castle, Jessica Jones, definitely. Just start right now if you got Netflix. If you always don't have Netflix, they have free month.
Man in the High Castle, I'm almost wondering if it was too much hype. Although maybe, I can't even say it was because it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a lot of hype. Maybe on my end, I was expecting more out of it than I got out of it because we've been talking about it for the past year.
You might be right though.
Anticipation. I had a lot of anticipation for it. And
you might be right.
And then once it came out, it's like,
your standards were set high.
You're right. Yeah, my standards were high. But it doesn't matter. Jessica Jones, huge, two huge thumbs up.
Oh yes. Oh, that was probably,
and what's funny is I've talked to people who listen to this podcast, and it's really funny because since we started this podcast, I find myself talking to a lot of people about TV shows. Like all of a sudden, I'm this TV critic or something, and I'll talk about the shows. And whenever I talk about a show, the first thing they always ask me is, "Well, is it as good as Breaking Bad?" Because you always say that to me.
We say that to you.
Yeah, you always say, "Well, is it as good as Breaking Bad?" Or how do you compare it to Breaking Bad?
Yeah, how do I compare it? Yeah, how do you compare this to Breaking Bad?
Right, and for me, as much as I love Breaking Bad, there's other shows I like just as much or even more than Breaking Bad. Like I'm a huge Sopranos fan. I say that's as good, maybe even better, because to me, Sopranos is epic. But I just thought that was funny that because I was talking to Jessica Jones, talking about Jessica Jones.
Yeah, is this a Breaking Bad level? Yeah, let me ask you about that.
Yeah,
is that a Breaking Bad level?
And then I was telling him about the show, and that's the first thing he asked me as well. How does it compare to Breaking Bad? And the way I always say the same thing. It's like they're two different shows. I mean, Breaking Bad is a great show, and this one is a good show. You can't compare the two.
No,
you can't. Breaking Bad is because the production is great. It's so well done. But this one, the story is amazing. The character development is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just it's magical. It's a great. I sound like an idiot talking about it like that, but I really liked it, man. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I liked it too.
I'm a dad. I work stupid hours, and it's a stressful life sometimes, and sometimes you just want something to look forward to, and this hit the spot, boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it again though. Before during our whole month off, I think I'm gonna watch it one more time. Just because.
That sounds good. Mm-hmm.
So you have another one here.
Yesterday I was in the basement, just kind of Nick was sleeping. I was just looking for something to watch, and again, it's the holiday season. It's Christmas time, and Bill Murray has a Christmas special on Netflix. And when I first heard about this, I thought, well, that looks. I thought it was a movie. I thought it was a Christmas movie. And I thought, oh, look, I love Bill Murray, and the preview showed him singing a bunch of songs, and it looked funny. It looked great, So, anyways, I watched it, and it's not a movie. It's like a Christmas special. It's like an hour long. Which at first I was kind of disappointed because I expected a movie. And when the show first started out, I wasn't sure what to think about it. But as the show progressed, it's got a lot of, cameos. Like Chris Rock has got a cameo in it. Amy Poehler's in it. George Clooney, Miley Cyrus. A lot of, and it's more, basically it's just that they all get together and they sing. And there's some weird, as a matter of fact, there's a song on there. The lady who produced this show is Sofia Coppola. And her father was Francis Ford Coppola, who did the Godfather movies. And Sofia Coppola, she's married to a guy in a band called Phoenix. And the band Phoenix is in this show. And they play a song with Bill Murray, which I come to find out was a Beach Boys song that I guess the Beach Boys never really recorded or something. At least I was never aware of it. But it's like my favorite song now. I posted it on Facebook, and it's nothing. I guess I don't know. I liked it. What can I say? I'm a big music nerd, so I like the musical aspect of it. And as much as I hate Miley Cyrus, I'll be the first to say she was enjoyable to watch because she wasn't, spreading her legs and talking about her chest. She was just singing. I thought she has a decent voice when she shuts up and starts talking about what a slut she is. She was good in this show because she was just singing and she was using her voice, and I enjoyed it. It was just a Christmas special where they sing Christmas songs, and it was fun. So, if anybody wants to,
so it's a musical.
Yeah, it's not really, well, I guess you could call it a musical because it's just Bill Murray. He plays himself. He's supposed to be filming a Christmas special on Christmas Eve in New York, but it's a blizzard, and all the people that are supposed to appear on the special can't show up because it's a blizzard in New York. So he's stuck. He's stuck, and the show kind of goes from there. And it's nothing special, but it's fun. It's a fun show. By the time it ended, I was laughing and I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it for what it was. There was really no dialogue. There is dialogue, but it's mostly just singing for no reason at all. People just walk in, they just start singing songs, and it's fun. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. It was just a fun Christmas special. I enjoyed it.
Okay,
it's cool. It's called A Very Murray Christmas or a Murray Christmas or something like that because it's Bill Murray. Bill Murray stars in it.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to watch just good Christmas entertainment, it's a family. You can watch it with your family. There's no. He's like, I think you can. I don't remember any swearing or anything. It was fun. It was a fun show to watch. As a matter of fact, I may watch it again when this is done because I really enjoyed the music. I think the music was well done. So you can check out that one, Brandon. See if you like it.
I'll check it out. I mean, you haven't steered me wrong so far with Jessica Jones
and it's only like
all
50,
the other shows.
Yeah, it's less than an hour. So anyways, check that out. And I don't know if you knew or not, but the new season of what's it called, Transparent?
Yeah, I did.
That started.
Yeah. The second. Is it out? Is it out this week or is it?
Well, the first episode is. I watched the first episode of season 2. I don't know if the full season is out. I thought it was out today. I'm probably wrong, but I know the first season. Or rather, the first episode is out because I watched it.
Okay, I didn't know that it was out today. Ooh, okay, I have to watch that.
the first episode, and I watched the first episode, and I don't know. To me, it was more like. I guess when the first season came out, it was new. It was a new thing. Like, we got this. Well, at least I should. It's not new. For me, it was new. With this guy, he lived his whole life with his family, and then, now that his kids are grown, and God love him, he wants to be a woman. He wants to wear a dress. He doesn't feel comfortable as a man, so he wants to live as a woman. But now that the first season's done, since that. This, what's the guy's name? Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
That whole thing happened, and listen, I just think that whole thing is absolutely asinine. All the attention he's getting, and how he's so brave, and they're giving him awards, and so I'm a little burnt out on that whole thing. And when I watched the first episode of the second season, it's all I kept thinking about, and I just thought. It's not as new anymore, and I don't know. It's still a good show, but I'm not I shouldn't say I even loved the first season, but it was interesting. It was neat to watch, but I guess it'll be interesting to see what happens in this current season because, to me it was just more drama and more like I kept like asking myself, do I really want to finish this? Is this something I really want to watch? Do I really want to? And we'll see what happens with this season.
I'm gonna watch it. Because I liked the first. I thought the first season was like, wow. So I will. I want to see what happens in the second season, just because of the way the first one ended.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what happens. So yeah, no, I will watch this one. This one is I'm gonna power watch this one. I didn't know it was out. I didn't even know the first episode was out today. Usually, see, you get these emails quicker than I do. What the hell?
No, I didn't get an email of this. I just happened to read an article somewhere. And I made a mental note, and I went, and I didn't get an email or anything. I just read something. I should probably look it up and see if the whole season's out there. In fact, I will right now.
Okay, cool.
The full season is not available for season 2. Only the first episode of season 2 is available. So I'm not sure when that will come out.
So only the first season. I mean, not first season. Only the first episode. I should say.
First episode of season 2, correct.
So I wonder when is it coming out? Is it coming out next week? I thought it was like around Christmas time.
Yeah, that I didn't see. It doesn't say when it comes out, but it does come out. It does come out sometime this month. I just don't know when.
I don't know. Are your expectations? I mean, my expectations are.
No, I have no expectations.
You have no expectation. Okay.
It's just something to watch.
Well, mine. The other one was pretty good. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch it too. Yeah, it's something just to watch. That's a good way of saying it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So, I guess. Do you have any more shows that you watched, or?
We talked about.
I don't know.
There's a show I happened to stumble across it last night. What's the guy's name from Saturday Night Live? Rob Schneider, is that his name?
Making
Copies. The guy who did the Making Copies.
I think so.
Yeah, that guy. He has a show on Netflix. It's called Real Rob.
Real Rob.
And it's like I think it's a half hour, and it stars him and his real life wife and his real life baby daughter. And he plays himself, or Hollywood, dramatic version of himself. And it's nothing special. I watched 2 episodes. If you like Rob Schneider, it's fun. It's not great. If you're bored, if you like comedy, check it out. But it was nothing that special. But I watched a few episodes of that. It's called Real Rob on Netflix, starring Rob Schneider. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So watch this after I get done with Dead and
there's too many other shows you haven't watched to watch this one. There was another show that I watched. That's right. I told you about it, and I forgot. I totally forgot I was watching that show. It's called The Red Road, and I believe it's normally on the Sundance Channel. Anyways, it's 2 seasons, and I watched the first episode of the 2 seasons. It was decent. It was like a typical Sundance Channel show. Very dramatic. The guy who was in Game of Thrones, one of the guys, I couldn't tell you his name, but he plays Aquaman in the Batman vs. Superman movie. He's in it. And I've only watched 1 episode, but I liked it, and I plan on continuing it, but I was bombarded by the 2 shows we just talked about previously. It's called The Red Road, and if it continues to be good, I'll talk about it further, but it was interesting. But I just logged into Netflix, and I see that there is a new movie, a new Adam Sandler movie. It's a Netflix original called The Ridiculous Six, and they must have just come out today.
Oh
no! You know what? I'm looking at this for the first time. It comes out December 11th.
Okay.
So this is a trailer. They have the trailer for The Ridiculous Six. So this is an Adam Sandler movie made for Netflix, and it looks to be some sort of cowboy thing. And it looks like it might be funny, but it's an Adam Sandler movie, so take that with a grain of salt. If you like Adam Sandler movies,
okay.
I'll check it out because
Yeah, check it out, and then if I like it, you message me or something, and then I'll watch it. Otherwise, if you say it's not worth my time, then I'm not gonna click on it.
Yeah. That's all I can think about as far as shows go. You got anything else?
For shows? No, I've not for shows. I can talk about my new phone.
What is the deal with this phone?
Okay, so he's been wondering about why I got a new phone. Okay, so it all started. This is my whole tech part. It all started I want to say maybe last week. My HTC One M9 screen started to go out, okay? And it started to flicker, and it totally went out. The LEDs just died. So
It's a brand new phone.
It's a brand new phone, yes. Yes, it's a brand new phone. I only had it for 8 months. But if I could put the flashlight into it and see what it is, see what's on the screen. So that's how I was using it for a while. Was everything worked? It's just the LED wouldn't light up the background for me to see what's on the screen. So all the buttons work, everything. So there's evidently something wrong with my phone. Okay. So I go and I say, well, okay, there's a problem with my phone. I put it away. And the next thing, something's creakling in the background.
Pardon me, that was me. I was moving something out of the way. I apologize.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. No. I was just wondering if it was me or you. Okay.
No, it was me.
Oh, okay. So I go and I'm like, okay. So I put this off to the side, and it was like night. So it was like about 7. Well, the Sprint store closed at about, well, not 7. It was like 6 or 5. The Sprint store closed at like 8 or something. So I had time to get there to go and have them order me a new one. I thought this was going to be an easy thing, you know. By the time I got there, it was just flickering. Okay, so it was flickering really bad. So
was it at the point where could you use it at all?
Oh, I could use it. But it was flickering, like it flickers like a projector on a screen. That's the best way to put it.
Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, it is annoying. So I go and I show the guy, and the guy says, "Well, there's nothing I could do for you because I gotta go and I gotta order, and plus I closed at 6. I stopped fixing phones at 6." And I'm going, okay, and it was like 7. So I was like, okay, fine. And I was like, fine, it works. It's okay. Hey, it's just flickering, okay, I could still use it. So, okay. I leave that store, and the next thing you know, it totally goes out. Now I cannot see anything on the screen. Okay? So it's dead. The store is closed now. This is about 9 o'clock.
Oh, man.
And I realized something. I didn't have a phone. I don't have another phone. So how can I use... Because remember in the one where I say Brandon's new phone, that podcast episode where I explain, hey, the reason why I keep my phones is because the other one, if the other one died or I lost it or whatever, I had another phone to turn on.
But you got rid of your other phone.
Yeah, they took it.
You wanted to.
Yeah, they took it. So this is why I would have paid the extra money to own it. Because normally when this happens, I usually go to my box, grab the previous phone, go online, turn off my other one, and turn it on.
But you can't do that.
I can't do that because I don't have my phone anymore. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So the next day, so this has been a week thing going on, okay? So the next day, I'm like, okay, fine. My phone's dead. I'm going to get up early in the morning. I'm going to go to another Sprint store. I'm going to go to the Sprint store closer to me, okay? So I go to a different one, okay, down the street, okay? Because that one wasn't open at the time. The other one was open a little later, so I went to that one, which is a little further, but whatever. So I go there. Now, my phone all of a sudden started working. Now, there's no flickering, okay? So I walk in there, and I say, hey, there's something wrong with my HTC M9. And I was like, hey, she was really nice. She says, okay, and I'm like, it's working now, but I know it's going to go out soon. And I'm curious on, what can you do for me, for this phone? Because I'm eventually not going to have a phone, okay? So some guy, the tech guy, comes out and says to me, well, I can't fix a not a broken phone. I said, okay. He said, would it be better if I would just call, and since it's under warranty, call and get a new one.
Yeah.
Scott, I pay $13 a month to get my phone fixed. Why the hell am I paying $13 a month to go online to order a phone that I'm paying $13 a month to get fixed? Right.
So what does that $13 a month get you?
It gets me it's fix in case I lose the phone, and it's to fix any problems I have, and they do the ordering, and they replace my phone if anything goes wrong. That's what I pay.
I'll tell you what, right now, if I were you, I would get rid of that $13 a month because it's not doing you any good.
It's not doing any good. Yeah,
so that would be the very first thing I did.
Okay,
that's $13 a month that you will save.
$13 a month. Okay.
In a second.
Good point. You brought that up because I stopped and I said, "Why?" He's like, "Well, you get a refurbished phone anyway, so it doesn't really matter." Now, key point number 2 on that: I don't care if it's refurbished. It's a lease phone. It's your phone. So if it's refurbished, all I want is a phone. I don't care if you order a refurbished one or not.
You got it. Yeah, you got to have a phone.
I got to have a phone, right? So I said, no, I pay $13 a month. I don't care if it's refurbished. Go ahead and do it. So I walk away from now the lady was nice to me. So I walk away from her to the other guy. And he says, well, if it's working now, there's nothing I can do for you. I said, okay. I grab my phone and I see it flickering. The thing of it is, if he had just grabbed my phone, and looked at it, because I'm holding it out for him to grab it, If he would have just grabbed it and looked at it, or just did, I would have been, my $13 a month would have been okay, or kept it a day, or whatever. So I said, okay, fine. I said, that's cool. I said, well, why don't you keep it? And then, give me another phone and and it'll flicker, because evidently there's something wrong with my phone. The LEDs, and I'm telling him exactly what it is. The LEDs are going out on this phone. And so it's not lighting the back display. That's what it's doing. Okay, I already told him. He don't have to look. I already told him what it was. He looked at me and says, well, I don't have any phones.
So he's a special order one for you.
Well, no, just to give me one for a loaner.
I'll tell you what. Say what you want, Brandon. But, and I'm not trying to prove a point or throw fuel on the fire.
Right.
But with my Apple phone, if I don't like, for any reason, if there's any issues or problems, if I have this problem that you're having, I can go to the Apple store and they'll replace it like that. They always have them in stock. Everything that you're talking about would never have happened.
No, it wouldn't have.
Once it's under warranty, any issues or problems, it's automatically taken care of. There's something with this phone, no problem.
Yes.
Here's a new one. Have a nice day.
Yes.
Done.
Done. Okay. I have a friend who I explained this story to. Now, he's on Verizon, and he told me he would never have that problem either. He just walks in the Verizon store, says, hey, there's something wrong with my phone. They go, and they have no argument. Not the store. So I went to 2 Sprint stores. Okay, let's go to the third one. Okay. So I said, okay, screw this. I'm going to go to another one, okay? Because this is going to go out on me, and I'm going to be in trouble. I am not going to have a phone. No one's going to be able to call me because I won't be able to see who's calling. I won't.
So what do they say?
Okay.
Right. What do they say?
Same thing. Well, your phone seems to be no problem with it, but
there's bullshit.
Whatever. And I'm going, well, yes, there's no problem with it because you have to have it you have to keep on using it. And I'm going, okay, this is ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous. So here's what I did. I said, because they took my old phone. See, I wouldn't care. Okay, if they had not taken my last phone from me and tricked me, because if I had known what I known then, if he had just said at the very end, yeah, it's for $5 a month, but we have to take your old phone, I would have said, no, you know what, forget it. I like to keep my old phone. I'm going to pay it.
What did you end up doing with the current phone?
So with the current phone I have, the current phone still works. But it flickers. Okay. So what I did was I said, fuck this. You know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to get me a unlocked phone. Okay, so this is what I almost did. I almost jumped on and bought a Nexus phone because it was like Friday, I think. They had a sale going. Okay.
Now listen, when you say you were going to buy a phone, you mean you're going to
I was going to outright buy it. Yeah, so I can own it.
Which would have, how much would that have cost if you'd done that?
Well, actually, they were running a deal. It was going to be $299, and it was going to be on the Wi-Fi. That network you were talking about.
Yeah, my brother's on it. Yes, yeah.
They were running a special. Okay.
Well, let me tell you. The story can stop here.
Okay.
Because if you, I'm only going by the information my brother told me.
Okay.
He bought this Nexus phone, and I'm taking it. I'm changing. Anyways, my brother bought a Nexus phone, and he's on this Google.
Yeah, well,
phone plan.
Yeah.
Right, and he pays I think less than $40 a month.
Yeah, it was like
he had to buy one of those Nexus phones. So the way he talks about this, I'm so jealous. I mean, this sounds like, to me, it sounds like an absolute no-brainer. So if you had an option, or if you had a opportunity to buy a Nexus phone and you didn't do it, I would say shame on you.
Okay. Do you know why the reason I did not?
Why?
Okay. Because I already have an Android phone. I said, you know what? Usually when I buy a second phone, I buy something different. Like I buy...
Okay, I don't understand part of the story.
Okay.
Your current phone, HTC, is under warranty for a year, correct?
It's under warranty, yes. And I pay $13 a month for them to fix it and replace it.
Your current phone is under warranty for a year.
Yes.
And you pay $13 a month for whatever issues and problems.
Yes.
You've gone to 3 stores to tell all 3 stores I have a problem with my phone, and you're telling me they won't replace it for you?
No, because they say it's working. I swear. I am so mad. I was so mad walking out of the last one. I was like, you know what?
So instead of getting your current phone replaced, you're telling me you went out and paid to have another second phone?
Okay. Yes and no. Okay. here's what I did. I went and got an unlocked phone. Okay, a GMS unlocked Windows phone.
Can you quickly, real quickly, tell me what an unlocked phone is?
Unlocked means it's not locked to a carrier. It is a phone I own.
It's a phone that'll work. It's a phone that'll work on any carrier.
Any carrier. Well, GMS carrier, but any carrier. Like for example, I can go to AT&T or I can go to T-Mobile, and I can plop in a SIM card and it will work. It will. Okay. Anybody can ring and anybody can dial me.
Okay, continue your story.
Okay, so here's what happened. So I said, forget this. You know what? Because I called my mom, and I was talking to my mom, and my mom was like, you know what? You're right. You don't own a phone. So if it goes out, what are you going to do? I said, you know what? I don't know. Usually I can go grab an old phone, which I tried, my Palm Pre, and it's just not, it's so old that the battery won't turn on. That sucks. So I literally don't have a phone to turn on or nothing. And then I've had experience with Sprint before where they take forever for them to order you a phone. You know how you said you had your problem of they go back to the back, grab you a new one and turn it on? Yeah. They don't do that there. They'll order you a phone, and it will take 3 days before, and so you're out of a phone.
That's the part of the story I truly don't get. You have a phone,
yes,
and you've been to not one but 3 stores telling them that you have a. It doesn't matter if it's in your head or not. If it's under warranty and you're telling the people that there's I want this phone replaced, did you specifically tell them that you wanted this phone replaced?
Yes.
And what did they tell you? They told you no?
It's fixed. Yes. No, they looked and they said, I don't see no problem with it. Which if you looked at it, yes.
It wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen on any other one. Oh, that's the beginning, because I was so I said, you know what, forget this. So I went to I went and I said, you know what? I start looking up for phones, and I said, you know what? There's this company called Blue. Okay, they make Windows phones, and they make other Android phones too. And I said, you know what? I always wanted a Windows phone. You know how you have your phone, and then you have your iPod, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of like what this is to me. Okay, like I have my phone, and then I have my Windows phone. Okay, because it's connected to my Windows computer. Okay. So it works on Wi-Fi. It does everything it needs to do. But if I need a SIM card, I can go buy a track phone SIM card with like 1,000 minutes on it, plop it in there, and I'm not phoneless. Okay, if I lose the phone, if I lose a phone like my HTC One, if I lose it, I'm not out of a phone. I'm not screwed, because I thought about it and I said, you're right. I don't have a single phone. No one can call me. So I go to the Microsoft store. They were very, it was kind of closing, so I can understand her rashness. I already knew what I wanted when I walked in there anyway, so it didn't take her too long to go with the phone.
So, isn't it expensive to buy a Windows phone? No. You just bought it outright?
Yeah, I bought it outright. It only cost me $179. This is it.
Wow.
It's only $100. It's not like $500 like the iPhone or like my phone. To get mine outright is like $600. That's why I was like, you know what? I should just go get one, because that's what it would have been if I had sold my other one to them, $179. It would have been like that, And it's brand new too, brand new, very lightweight, runs fast. It is nice.
It's what a disappointment. I mean,
so now, if my phone ever goes out,
are you still paying that $13 a month, and do you still continue to spend $13 a month?
Here's the funny part about this is that it's a lease phone. So you know how insurance, when you have a lease vehicle, you have to put their insurance and whatever they cost on it. I think it's like that towards when you have a lease phone on Sprint. I think I gotta have the insurance because it's their phone, because otherwise I gotta pay the phone outright to them. If I lose it.
Well,
so.
Me, I would listen. After listening to this story, I would run the hell as fast as I can away from Sprint.
You know what?
That's bullshit.
It is
absolute bullshit.
It is bullshit. And and I was really mad, because all they had to do was take the phone. And even if it would have take the phone and
get you another one. Get you another one.
Give me another one. Just give me another one. Yes, it works. Yes, it works now, but it doesn't work. But it won't work later. It may not work after this show. Yep. So that's why I got the Windows phone. It is unlocked, so I could just put any card. I got a dual SIM card at that. It's pretty nice. I can put music on it. I can, my podcasts are on it now, but
when is your contract with this phone?
Oh, it's up for I think I got another year or something. I think I got another year. I got it in April, so I got more than a year. I got until next April, 2017.
Are you going to continue with Sprint after this, or are you done with Sprint after this?
You know what I did just today? I told my mom today, you know what, Mom? You might want to look into getting another phone on a different carrier. And she says, why can I not take mine? I said, because it's locked into Sprint. So I don't know which one you want to go to, but I am done with them. After this, yeah, they really, that was the final straw right there. It's not because
why would you have your mom buy a new phone now? Why didn't you just wait until your contract?
Well, she can do whenever, yeah, but hers is not under contract. She can go at any time. That's what I told her. You can go within the 2 year or whatever the years.
You told her to go to another carrier?
Yeah, until 2017. But after that, I said, I don't know if you want to come with me on T-Mobile or whatever one is cheaper, or not. But I'm just like really mad. I was really mad about this. So
is that what you're going to do? You're going to go to T-Mobile?
Well, yeah, because you know what? With this phone right here, with this Windows phone right here, what I was thinking about doing is going and just getting a prepaid SIM card, and I can just put it in there and just pay $30 a month. It's prepaid, so it's no contract.
How many minutes does that give you a month?
I think it gives you. I forgot what it is. I think it gives you like 200 or something or whatever, and some of them are unlimited minutes and so much data.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, but it's like $30. It would have cost me if I went and bought another phone on Sprint. That's why I got GMS, by the way, because I'm not giving them any more money. That's it. I'm not getting another phone on their network. I bought me a GMS phone to either go AT&T or Sprint. I mean, not Sprint, but AT&T or T-Mobile. Okay, so that's why I got the GMS phone with the SIM card. Because it's going to cost me the same going unlocked anyway. So what's the point? It's like, okay, I can get this phone really cheap, and if my phone goes out, I can put any card in I want from any carrier, and it will work. And they give me a number, and I'm cool. And until Sprint decides 3 days or 4 days later to give me a brand new phone. So
that's bullshit.
That is why I got a new Windows phone. But I kind of like it. Now, speaking of the phone, okay, skip that story. I really do like this Windows phone. The only bad thing about it is it has no apps. It really doesn't have any Gmail apps.
Well, it's Windows. Yeah, Windows, they're not like Apple and Android. They're not known for having a lot of... Yeah, they don't... I'm going to look up the phone that you have. What's the name of the phone?
It's a blue... let me see what I got here. It's BLU, and just type in Windows Phone. It's on the Microsoft Store if you want to look.
BLU. Come on, this piece of shit. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm swearing.
That's okay. It's BLU, and then just type in Windows Phone.
BLU Windows Phone. Okay.
I can post it on Tech Pop Boom too, if you on the website.
Oh, wow! What color did you get?
I got a gray, and I got the 179 version.
Well, it looks exactly like the HTC one you had.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks like HTC. Yeah, it does. Actually.
But it's Windows.
Yeah, it's Windows, and I got the 179.
This one was one. You can cut this out if you want to the show, Brandon, but this one's 145 at Walmart.
Yeah, but that one's not upgradable to Windows. That one's not upgradable to Windows 10.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the higher one, the 179 one, will upgrade to Windows 10. This is exactly what she did in Microsoft Store. The other one is not. So you're stuck on 8.1. That's it.
So so Windows doesn't have an app store that you can download apps from?
No, you do.
But there's just not much there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just not much there. They need good apps.
That's very disappointing.
It is.
But I guess you know what? If you need a phone, I'll tell you what, for $150 more or less, if you can get this phone for $150. And how would that work? You buy minutes every month? Is that how it works?
I can do that, or I can go.
How does the data work?
Okay,
or something like that?
Okay, so on unlocked phones, you can pick whatever carrier you want and whatever plan you want. So let's say I go to, I'll say AT&T. AT&T has they have Cricket, okay? And so they have that's their cheap plan. Their cheap, like kind of like Virgin Mobile and Metro PCS. That's their version of it. So let's say I go to Cricket and I say, okay, I want a prepaid SIM, okay, which is going to cost me $14, okay. But I have no contract, so I can pick from their plans. Now, let's say there's a $30 a month, 500 minutes. I'm just guessing. I don't know. And it has 2 gigs of data. Okay, we'll just say that. I'm not stuck to a contract, so I can pull out that SIM and go to a different one. I'm not out of the money. I can pay per month, and then if I want to just say, I want to go to something else, I don't have to cancel. I don't have to do anything. All I got to do is pull out the SIM card. Or I can go get a track card. Okay.
But how does the data work?
The data,
so
it just
you
minuses
pay for
off.
Minutes.
Yeah. You pay for data too.
You pay for data and minutes.
Yeah, you do that on TracFone. TracFone does that a little differently. Like T-Mobile has it like as a plan. Okay, you pay $30, you get like kind of like your cell phone. You get with $30, you get 2 gigs and data and 500 minutes. We'll just say that because I don't know what it is.
Right.
So, but you pay, but it's prepaid. So you don't have a contract or anything. So you pay per month, or you just call the next month and cancel it. The other way is the TracFone way, where you get the SIM card, you put it in, and then you add like $20. Okay, and you could say I want, or you could get just texting. Okay, with that $20, which you get 2,000 messages. Or you could go and you could just get, I just want just to be able to make a phone call. Okay, make phone calls. So that might be 100 minutes. Or you can just get just data, which that might be like $20, and you might get 2 gigs of just data. No phone call, no texting, just data. So you could do it that way. You're it's kind of like an open plan. You're not stuck to your 2 gigs with this amount of minutes with this, well, everything's unlimited now. And this amount of stuff. So you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do on an unlock phone. I'm not stuck to anything with this phone. I could go to and put any SIM card I want or any network I want, and it works. That's it.
If I were you, I should say, if not if I were you, if for me, if I had an opportunity, I would do what my brother did, which is I would go out and buy that Nexus phone. You like that Nexus phone. You always talk about it.
Yeah.
Go out and get the Nexus phone. He says with that Google phone plan he has, he pays maybe $40 or maybe a little bit more a month, and that gives him data, and it gives him a gig of data. But if he goes over, it's $10 for every gig he uses. So if you want 2 gigs, it's $20, a month. If you want 3 gigs, $30. 4 gigs, $40. And then I don't know what it is for your minutes, but and plus I tell you what, the phone he has is so nice. It's like the real big one.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like the one I would like. I can't do a 6-inch.
Yeah.
I get the other one.
Beautiful.
I get the 5X.
And that's funny because that's exactly the phone you said you wanted. He's got it. I thought that's so weird. Yeah.
Yes, but I wouldn't get me the big phone, but. It's unlimited minutes actually. It's unlimited, and then you do the data, and you could do $10, $20. I looked into it. Trust me. After I walked out of that spread store, I thought about it and said, well, you know what? I'm going to wait the 2 years, and then when I get rid of this HTC One, when I hand it back to them, that's when I'll probably cancel my plan, and I'll probably say, you know what? I'm done. Here, but this won't be until 2017 anyway. I'm done. Here we go. And my mom hopefully will be off of it, and hopefully another person will be off of it too. Then I'm going to walk and I'm going to go to Google Fi. I think I will. I think I will do that because that is actually a really good deal. I just didn't want two Android phones. You know what I'm saying? I already have one that does Android. Mm-hmm. I usually get something else, and I refuse to get an iPhone.
I understand. I understand your interest in wanting to get a Windows phone.
Yeah.
After the way you described it, it doesn't sound like it sounds like a very boring phone, that Windows phone.
You know what? Maybe because maybe I'm hoping Windows 10 is better than this. They're supposed to, which it gets into some of a little bit of my tech news, is that, which I wasn't going to kind of do because I didn't want since this is our last show, I didn't want it to be so dated. But I heard that right now they're trying to port Android phone or apps over to Windows Phone, so all Android apps will work on Windows mobile phones. So that fixes their app problem.
Well, that's just ridiculous for them to be in the market this long and have an app store that lousy. It's stupid. Okay, they do have a YouTube app, but the YouTube app is made by Microsoft. So I'm looking at their Facebook. Facebook doesn't make their app. They make it. Okay, Microsoft makes the app, which is not bad. I gotta say, the Facebook app is not that bad. The map is not that bad. I have Microsoft Office on here, which is great, which is okay. They have the Netflix. The Netflix works beautiful on here. Not a single stutter. And that's made by Netflix. There's no Amazon Prime or anything. I can't do Amazon Prime or anything on. They don't have no app on that. I have Skype, but I don't use Skype. I'm a Google person, but I mean, I can go to Skype, but I have that option. It's okay. You know what? If it wasn't for the apps, this phone would be beautiful. I'm not kidding. This would be a great phone. The way it works with the tiles, kind of like your Windows, well, that's right, you don't have Windows 10 yet. Just like Windows 10 with the tiles on the start menu. Same thing. The only thing I wish they did is I wish that these would come up, I wish they would sync together. That's the one thing. Maybe that's in Windows 10. I heard maybe that's in Windows 10, where they sync together. Like any apps that I have on here, I can use on my computer, and vice versa. They don't have that. Well, that is a very long, detailed story that very much sucks.
Yeah, it very much sucks. I know. Sorry to bore you guys about that, but
no,
that's the injustice.
It's disappointing.
It is disappointing, and I've been with them for 17, 18 years. You would think
that reason alone, they should have said, "Hey, you have a problem? Here's a new phone."
Well, someone suggested I go to a Sprint store not owned by people, owned by Sprint itself, and the only one I know of that's like that is it's near, I think, Oakland Mall.
I think you're right. Well, you need to find one, and I would definitely do that, Brandon.
Maybe they'll fix it, because these are owned by, Sprint these are owned by people, I think. I think that's how they do it. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to this. But I think it's different people.
You need to have something happen, because
this phone's about to go out.
That phone is a very expensive phone.
$800. It's a $600 phone. Yeah. I mean, it's not HTC's problem anyway. It's not the phone, really. My phones usually do this when you have them in your pocket or whatever, and you use them for a while. And usually I stick them in my pocket because no one puts it in a holster anymore, if you notice that. So your phone, Apple's will do that too sometimes, and usually, but that's why they replace it within a second. You have no problem with an iPhone, only because if that were to happen, 30 seconds.
Yep. Boom.
You get one. Okay. Here, no problem, because they care about you coming back. As to where I guess Sprint doesn't care if I come back. But that's really it.
I'm looking at the phone. We're already about an hour and a half into the show, so we should probably do our
I'm sorry. Brandon. Yeah, I know. Okay. So, but I guess as Scott said, this is our last show for the season. So
we're gonna do seasons. This is gonna be the end of season 1. Yeah. And then starting in January, we'll start season 2, and that should probably season 1 lasts us an entire year, so we'll probably do
season
until
2.
Yeah, when a year from now it'll be the end of season 2, and
around this time we'll always end the season.
The next episode will be in January. It'll probably be episode 2.1. And
2. I'm gonna rename them all. This is stuff I wanted to say in the last one, but I didn't want to confuse you guys, so I'm probably gonna say in this one at the end. if you're listening now, you're probably a fan, so you're probably on our feed, and you probably subscribe to us. What I plan on doing is I plan on changing our website. That's the first thing. I think I'm gonna do it. I just don't know which way. So if you can give me some suggestions on Facebook, would be very wonderful. What you like, what you don't like about our show, so we can change it, or we can, take your suggestions and do something with it, or whatever. What I also might do is I'm gonna move probably our feed over to one place, because I have it in two places right now. I have it on Amazon, and then GoDaddy does our website. Okay, so I might just go to one person and put everything over there. So if you see your feed all of a sudden die and then come back with all new shows, those are not new shows. They're just, I moved them over, and it's saying, oh, all new shows. No, that's because. So don't freak out. We haven't, or if you look and you all of a sudden see no Tech Pop Boom episodes, well, don't worry about it. They'll be back. I'm just working on the feed. I'm going to try to go stereo. We're in mono right now. Maybe, I don't know, Scott, you want to do some more introductions?
We should definitely work on something. The one we have, the radio. Yeah. The radio thing we have, I like, but we need to change it.
Yeah, change it. Different. So we'll do some more introductions. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'll add some more, and I'm going to try to do stereo, because we're in mono right now. And I know people don't care about mono or whatever, but it bothers me. So it's a Brandon thing, okay? Mm-hmm. It's like, I would like to be in stereo. So we don't record in stereo, but I can convert it to stereo. I'm thinking about going back to SoundCloud. I'm totally thinking about it. Just putting whatever the last new 4 episodes on there. I'm thinking about that. I still have my YouTube feed. I don't know if people want us to have the YouTube feed or not. Most people do like the YouTube feed, because that was Android's way of podcasting. That was the only way I could, for Android people, because we don't have iTunes. But I'm hoping that if you're new to us and you are from the Android, if they put the app by then, please listen to our previous shows. It would be very cool. You can know about us starting from the first one all the way up. There's 20 of them available.
Skip the first. Start with the second episode.
So skip the first one. The unprofessional. Yeah, skip that one. Start with the second one. So, what's your favorite episode out of the year that we did? As I have one.
You tell me yours first.
Okay, mine was episode 13.
Which was,
let me see. Episode 13 was a new introduction.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think when we first started out, we're just kind of getting our feet wet. We knew we wanted to do something. We just weren't sure how to go about doing it. At some point, we had kind of changed the format. When we first started out, we started doing all the tech news, and then toward the end of the show, we'd start talking about a little bit of music, and we start talking about a little TV. As the show's progressed, we've almost turned into like TV show critics in a way, because we're talking a lot about streaming TV shows. And I think it started on that episode. I think you're right. I believe it started at episode 13. We looked at the way we were doing it, and we said, well, you know what? Let's start the show off by doing. We'll talk about things that we'll talk about TV shows. We'll talk about what we're watching.
Yeah.
And we'll throw in our 2 cents on movies and TV, and then we'll do the news after that, and music, and it'll all come second. We'll start with the TV and the movie. I think it started with episode 13.
I think switching up episode 10 is when we start doing that. Episode 13.
Oh, was it 10?
Yeah, 10 was when we did that. That was switching things up. That was the name of that one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That's probably one of my favorites.
So number 10. So number 10's your favorite. Because 13 was when you add the introduction to it. And I thought that was sweet when I put that radio in there. I said, that's what was missing. Was something in the beginning. That was such a good idea, because he came up with the idea. And
I like that, but I think we need to change it up.
Yeah, we need to change
like that. The introduction we have, I think, was really meant more to be like an ad or a commercial.
Yeah.
It works for an intro, but I think we need to come up with something better.
Yeah.
We need to, and we can, and we will. Yeah, I agree with you. I like having an introduction and then we roll into the show. But I thought that was kind of cool too. I like the way that it just, yeah, I think it was a good idea.
Yeah, I would say my least favorite would be our first one.
Definitely, yeah. Because again, we didn't know what the heck we were doing. We still don't. But.
Yeah, but we're better than some podcasts. I've listened to some of them. And I'm like,
I don't know about that. I mean, I have fun doing it, and that's why I continue to do it. But the first one. Yeah, you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere. I mean, not that one. That was probably the worst one. But now everyone's going to listen to it because we say that. But yeah, I would say 13 was. But I managed to pull up the numbers of the highest listened to shows. Meaning, I see how many people listen to which show. Okay, and I see which ones get looked at, and I see. But these are the listeners. These are people who downloaded our show. Okay, the highest ones. So the highest one was Brandon's new phone. Okay, that was with a lot of people listening to that.
What episode was that? What number?
That was episode. Let me see. Brandon's new phone was episode 7.
7.
Number 7. It was right before we went on iTunes.
That is our highest rated
show. Yeah, episode. Everyone loved that one, and I don't know why. So I went back and listened to it today just to see what everyone loved about it. Okay. But I think it's because I was talking about HTC and I was talking about Sprint like I did before. About them taking my phone, and I think people like that one.
So what is can you tell me which one is the least listened to episode?
I can look that up right now. The least episode right now would be I would say number 3, Brandon's Big Surprise.
That was number 3, Brandon's Big Surprise.
Yeah, I would say that's the least.
What happened? What was that one? I don't remember.
Oh, that was when I had the website.
Oh, that was the least. That's funny. that was cool. I remember I was excited about that.
Yeah, I guess nobody cared about my big surprise.
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah.
So that was the. I mean, and then I had number 2, which, if you want to know what the second highest one was, the high tolerance for bad shows. Now there were 3 number 2s that had the same number. The high tolerance to bad shows, my Windows 10's review, and We've Made It to iTunes.
Wow, that's cool. That's interesting.
And then our number 3 was our Unprofessional First Podcast was number 3, and then Scott Apple Fanboy number 1.
That's neat. That's very interesting stuff.
Yeah. I just thought that would be interesting facts to let you know. I'll do this every year. At the very last one of the season, I'll say which one's the highest rated one of all. So, but I see that your wife had issues too.
Oh yeah. We have the iPhone, and typically I'm pretty good about fixing things or something. The other day she had told me that her text message wasn't making a noise, so she had no idea when she was getting a new text message. So I thought, okay, well, no problem. I'll just go into settings and I'll fix it. Well, this has been going on, Brandon, for a while, and I just get frustrated. I'm thinking, why is it this hard? Why can't I figure this out? I couldn't figure it out, so I kept giving it back to her, and she was just frustrated, understandably so.
Yeah.
She has no idea when she's getting these text messages. She has to check every half hour just to see if she got something new. It's aggravating,
Yeah, it is.
So finally today, I said, let me see your phone. This is ridiculous. Why can't I figure this out? This is bullshit. It shouldn't be this friggin' hard,
Yeah.
So I went into her phone and I checked the settings, and it looked like everything was fine. But whenever I would test it, it wouldn't make any noise. So I looked it up. I went to Google. I Googled it, and they explained they explained how to fix it. And what was happening is when I looked at all I took her phone and I clicked on my name. There's like a setting in my name, and there's a do not disturb. The do not disturb was on. So whenever I would turn it off, it would automatically, Brandon, for whatever reason, would automatically turn itself back on every single time.
Must not like you.
Yeah, right. Now, I don't know if it did that for everyone or if it was just me. But for whatever reason, I would turn off the do not disturb, and I would close it out, and it would turn it back on. So every time it would just go silent. So I finally had to give it a hard reboot, and it finally, thank God, now it's finally starting to work again. And I turned the volume up real loud because she's hard of hearing like I am. And there should be no reason why that damn thing doesn't go off now. But I tell you what, it was so aggravating. I could not figure that out.
That's it. My mom had the switch turned off on the side.
That happened. That happened too. The do not disturb switch.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that.
That's the I'm in a movie theater. I'm going to quick turn off my phone switch.
Yeah, and I did notice. She's like, I can't hear any text messages and stuff, and I'm going. It took me almost an hour to figure it out, and I just realized, wait, well, let me see the switch. And once I flicked it on, it worked.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you have something listed on the bullet points. You mentioned something about add guest. Are you planning on adding some guests?
Oh yeah. I was going to talk about our next thing. Yeah. I was going to say we never had guests on here. So if you got somebody who wants to come on here, I mean, I'm thinking about adding. I don't know who would want to come on here, but I'm thinking about try to add some guests in 2.0. I mean, in the second season. Just to make things interesting.
At one point I had called a mutual friend of ours on a day that we were scheduled a podcast to do one of our shows, but it just so happened that he couldn't do it because it was absolutely last minute.
Okay.
And I called and I texted him, and he wasn't able to do it, but I know he would like to do it. If given the opportunity, but we probably have to schedule something out of time.
Yeah, we have to schedule it. Yeah, we'd have to
so that he would know.
Yeah,
that would be fun. Yeah,
I was thinking of doing that. I mean, stuff that I had listed on here is that stuff that 2.0 I forgot about that. Yeah, I wanted to change our feed, the website, and probably add guests. I mean, once in a while, hey, I don't know how that's going to work. We haven't never tried it before, so I might have to test that theory out during that whole 2 weeks to see if that's going to work. Yeah, and I was also but the website, to me, what do you think about the website? Do you think it should be? I mean, it's simple because our Facebook does the job. I mean, the Facebook does what we do mostly is what I do is post stories. That's the way I want our website to be too. But I'm thinking, well, wait, I have the Facebook. If everybody just goes to our Facebook page, that's exactly it's just like a web page, and there's no different, really. You just type www.facebook.
It's probably easier for people to go to Facebook because they're already on Facebook, and if something of ours pops up, it's there. People aren't going to go to our website.
It's there.
They're gonna exactly. They have to go out of the way to hit www.techpopmove.com. But please do go to www.techpopmove.com. And check out our website. All the links are on there: Facebook, Google+, YouTube, iTunes. Go there, hit the subscribe button on iTunes, and help us out. But that being said, Facebook is the best way to get a hold of us. That's the place people would see us first because they're already there.
And I will be over that whole month. I will be adding stories to it. But speaking of stories, I got one more. Forgot about a little part tech news. I wasn't going to do it, but I was going to ask you this. Did you see the one that Apple's decided to add Amazon to Apple TV?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's funny. I think that's great. It doesn't make sense, but I think it's great. But it's been so long. I tell you, I'm in love with my Roku. I don't know if I'd want to spend money on an Apple TV. The other day I was... my son, he's young. He really likes Nick Jr. is a channel he likes watching. There's a lot of shows in there. He's still he's older, but he likes a lot of these shows that are meant for younger kids. Long story longer, Roku added a Nick Jr. app, and he loves it because all the shows he likes are on there. And it may be available on Apple. I don't know that it's not, but it's on Roku, and they add a lot of channels. They're always adding new channels, and I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But if Apple added,
go ahead.
What you said?
What about your Chromecast?
It's good. I haven't had time to play with it because my hours at work are crazy. I work stupid hours, and my son takes a lot of my time. So by the end of the night, when he goes to bed, all I want to do is just crash. I work stupid hours at work. When I get home, the first thing I do before I sit down is just play with my kid, have dinner, and then when he goes to bed, it's my time just to put my feet up and just relax, man. And if I have enough, energy, I'll try and play with the Google, but it's frustrating sometimes because, again, I can't figure out what I want to do. Well, the Roku, I know exactly how it works.
Yeah.
You grab the remote control, all your options are that you just click on what you want to watch, and it's done.
And it's done.
The Chromecast, I have to do work. I have to figure out how to get it to work.
Okay.
What it does do, it does well, but the things I want it to do, and I can't figure out how to get it to do it, it's frustrating. So I will find the time, and I will figure out how to get it to do what I want it to do. But in the meantime, I have to say I really love my Roku.
So you're not even going to get the Apple TV, huh?
I wouldn't say never say never. It's the new Apple TV. It's still new. There was talk about them at some point adding their own TV package, like they're adding like how Sling TV does it. Mm-hmm. So if and when that happens, it might be something to look into at that time. And I like the idea of having an Apple TV because you can play games and it does a lot of cool things. It's got the remote that you can talk to. It's got the remote itself is pretty cool, but times are tight. It's Christmas time. All the money I have is going towards Christmas gifts. So the last thing I can consider is buying
Apple TV
for myself. But who knows what the future holds? I like my Roku. I don't see me getting rid for an Apple. But at some point, I'm an Apple fanboy. I wouldn't mind having one.
Yeah,
So
Apple fanboy number 1 at that.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, Well, if you listen to that episode, you totally are not. That's the funny part. That's why I wrote that. Apple fanboy number 1. It's the opposite of what it says.
Yeah.
Because the first time this guy was Apple fanboy. Oh, Apple's great, everything, but just that podcast happened to be. I as I'm editing it, I'm going, oh my God, Scott is just going, oh, totally crazy over this whole entire 16 gig thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So I would like that one. That would be my second favorite episode. Would be that one, Apple fanboy number 1. That would be number 2 because just it went the opposite. I mean, you would think you would be like, oh, Apple this, but it isn't. That's why the title's like that. It's not. It's the opposite of what it says. But I guess I mean, you have anything to add for our very last show of the season?
Like to I wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I hope everyone is happy, and we will see you next year.
Yeah, we'll see you next year. Yeah.
See you next year, but we'll be talking to you next year.
Yeah, I will be posting on Facebook. You can very welcome to comment. We will comment back if you want dialogue. I will say stuff on there now. I'll start writing. That's what I'm going to start doing in 2.0. I'm going to start writing what I need, writing stuff in my comments or whatever. Hopefully season 2 will be better than season 1. I'm going to try to, and I really enjoyed this podcast. I think I said that before, and I enjoyed doing it. I love editing it. That's my favorite part about this whole podcast. I love editing it. And hopefully I'll see you guys next year.
See you next year, everybody. Thanks for listening. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. See you next year.
Yep. Happy Hanukkah, too. Or any other holiday. Bye.
Bye-bye.